forward. Our next talk is by Vidwan P.V. Rajaraman ji, and he'll be speaking on the topic Breaking the Shackles of Maya, Madhusudana Saraswati ji on Bhagavad Gita, 7th chapter, 14th verse. Namaste, Rajaraman ji.
Namaste.
Yeah, namaste.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. Thank you for accepting our invitation, and we look forward to the talk. Just a brief introduction. Shri P.V. Rajaramanji is a highly qualified academic, and he is currently the Chief Technology Officer of at Adi Shankara Institute of Engineering and Technology at Kaladi. He used to head the AI, Artificial Intelligence Department at the university, and apart from his academic achievements, he is also a sadhaka and a Shastra Vidwan. He has studied Nyaya and Vedanta Shastras under the guidance of Brahmashri Goda Venkateshwara Shastrigal. He has been doing Upanyasam since the age of 18 years, and he has been awarded with various awards such as Bhagavata Baswan Brahmashri Anjam Krishnan Nambudiri Memorial Award in 2018 from Sri Ayyappa Bhakta Sabha in Chennai. Again, thank you for making time for the session. Please go ahead and start the session.
Vamsi vibhushitakarannavaniradaphate pītāmbaraduranabhimbapaladuroshtate Purnendu sundaramukadaravindanetrate Krishnah param kimapi tattvam na jane Sadashiva samarambam Shankaracharya madhyamam asmadacharya paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Harihi Om Shrimad Madhusudana Saraswati Padaha Prasiddha Advaita Vedanta Vidwan Acharyah Advaita Siddhantasya Raksham Kritavan Saha Acharya Shankarasya Anugami Asit Tatha cha Bhaktairapi Mahatvam Sīkritavan Tasya Pramukam Grantaha Gudartha Deepika Bhagavad Gitayaha Advaita Drishtya Likitam Vistritam Tika Grantam Gudartha Deepika Madhye Saha Advaita Tattvasya Spashta Vyakyanam Dattva Bhagavad Bhaktairapi Sthanam Dadati. So in this text, Gudartha Deepika, as Madhusudana Saraswati Padaha tries to find a sweet spot where he could bring in both the Advaitins and the Anuyayis of the Bhakti Marga. Tata Bhaktairapi cha Samanam Samadritaha, meaning he wants to find a spot because it would have been noted that in most of the cases, a pure devotee has been a Purva Pakshi for an Advaiti, and in some cases, an Advaiti has been a Purva Pakshi for a devotee. And Madhusudana Saraswati Padaha has done this beautiful job of finding a samanvaya between these two. So I've been given half an hour to take a sample out of his Bhashya for Gudartha Deepika, and I have chosen the slokam, the 14th sloka from chapter number 7. Devi Hyesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duradhyaya Mamevaye Prapatyante Maya Metam Tarantite. This is a very famous sloka which talks about the problem and also the solution in the very same sloka. That is why this sloka is vastly appreciated. The first pada of the sloka, or the first half of the sloka, talks about the problem and also the intensity of the problem. And the second half of the sloka talks about the solution to the problem. When we are exposed to our scriptures, we will often understand that you will not be able to find a comprehensive sloka of such that which will give you an overall idea of the entire scriptural essence. So this slokam, again, Madhusudana Saraswati Padaha uses this slokam to comprehensively give you the entire sampradaya. So when you read this entire bhashyam for this sloka alone, you will be able to understand as I told you, the problem, the intensity of the problem, the difficulty with the problem, and also the solution to the problem. And we all know Madhusudana Saraswati Padaha as a devout Krishna Bhakta, which again happens to be a great point of intersection between Bhagavad Padacharya and Madhusudana Saraswati Padaha. We have seen numerous number of slokas from Bhagavad Padacharya like Kripa Patram Yasya Tripuraripuram Bhojavasati Suta Janho Charanaka Nirne Janajalam. This slokam is very famous in Prabodha Sudhakara, where Bhagavad Padacharya recalls Bhagavan Krishna as his Kuladevata. It was Ganga which came out of the Charana Kamala of Bhagavan, and that Krishna happens to be my Kuladeva or Kuladevata. And wherever Bhagavad Padacharya goes, he keeps remembering Krishna repeatedly. He goes to Kashi and claims that he is going to do Krishna Upasana there. Likewise, a lot of instances where Bhagavad Padacharya exhibits his Krishna Bhakti, and Madhusudana Saraswati Padaha, being an Anuyayi of Bhagavad Padacharya, also exhibits the same level of Krishna Bhakti in his Granthas. For example, Advaita Vedanta Padikair Upasyaha Swananda Simhasana Labdhati Kshaha Sathena Kenapi Vayam Hatena Dasi Krita Gopavadu Vitene. Here Madhusudana Saraswati Padaha tells that I was very comfortable living a life of an Advaiti. Advaita Vedanta Padikair Upasyaha Swananda Atava Swarajya Simhasana Labdhati Kshaha. It was very cool. It was very satisfied life as I was living as an Advaiti. Suddenly this Krishna came, Satena Kenapi Vayam Hatena Dasi Krita. He looted my heart. This Krishna came and looted my heart. He made me one of his maid servants with the Gopa Gopikas from Vrindavana. I was Bhalatkarena. I was adamantly taken by Krishna. So such slokas of Madhusudana Saraswati Pada exhibits his Krishna Bhakti nature. So that background has to be kept before we say this sloka. So for this sloka, I'm not going to read every verse of the Bhashyam. It will be very time consuming. I'll give you the gist and I'll read the last paragraph of the Bhashyam, which I consider to be the heart of among all the paragraphs. The last paragraph happens to be the heart, because he is going to give you the solution. Before that, he is going to discuss only the problem. And the problem is the inescapable nature of Maya and the path of overcoming it. So here Sri Charanaha explains that Nano Yathokta Anadi Siddha Maya Gunat, meaning this Maya, which is also Anadi as Brahman, this does not have the quality of Swatantriyam. Swatantriya abhavena tat parivarjana samarthyanna kadachitapi Maya Vikramaha. In the first paragraph also, Sri Charanaha here, Madhusudana Saraswati Padaha gives us a hint of the solution. Now, what is the way to overcome this Maya? Bhagavad-eka Sharanataya Tattvajnana Dwarena Mayatikramaha Sambhavati Tyaha. I'll again read. Bhagavad-eka Sharanataya Tattvajnana Dwarena. Look how comprehensive this work is. I have just taken one line. Bhagavad-eka Sharanataya. You surrender yourself to Bhagavan. And he is not telling you that surrender alone is going to give you jnanam, or surrender alone is going to give you moksham or liberation. He is adding another word which is bringing him inside the loop of Shankara Tattva, which is the Advaita Tattva, that is Tattvajnana Dwarena. Having attained the Tattvajnana, which is nothing else by knowing or getting the Aparoksha Jnana, Maya Atikramaha Sambhavadityaha. So, the world is bound by the three gunas, which is Sattvam, Rajas, and Tamas. Point number one. Point number two, it lacks true independence. Because of this, it is seemingly impossible to transcend Maya. Second point, Bhagavan here states it very clear that to overcome Maya, you can achieve it only through surrender, Bhagavadeka Sharanata, and the realization of the ultimate truth, which is Tattvajnana Dwarena, is the essence of the first paragraph. In the second paragraph also, he extends the same idea by telling this Maya, as given in the Mula Slokam, Devi Hyesha Gunamayi. Gunamayi meaning Sattvam, Rajas, Tamas. And this world, along with all the Jivatmas, is tightly woven by this rope of Maya. And this Maya belongs to Paramatma. And how does Madhusudana Saraswati Padaha define Paramatma? Mama Maya Vinaha Parameshwarasya Sarva Jagat Karanasya Sarvajnasya Sarvashaktehe Swabhuta Swadhinatvene Jagat Srishtiyadi Nirvahika Maya. So this belongs to Paramatma. I am just trying to slightly translate the words. He is omniscient, he is omnipotent, and he is the cause for the entire Srishti, Sthiti and Nasa of this world. So this Maya is under his control, and it is responsible for creation, sustenance and dissolution of this world. If you want to support Mayantu Prakritim Vidyam, Mayanantu Maheshwaram. Going forward, this is where in this paragraph, in the third paragraph, he makes a connection between Jiva, Ishvara, and the concept of reflection, which is Pratibhasikam. Atraivam Prakriya Jiveshwara Jagatvadi Bhaga Sunye Shuddhe Chaitanya. So, in the pure consciousness, which is Shuddha Chaitanya, due to ignorance or avidya, there is a distinction between Ishvara, Jiva and Jagat is appearing. Now, this is compared to the reflection of a face in a clear mirror. Swachha Darpana Iva Mukhabhasam is the word in the Bhashyam. Swachha Darpana Iva Mukhabhasam, in a clear mirror, Swachha Darpana. Just as the reflection is not separate from the original face, the Jiva is not separate from Brahman. Support Eko Devaha Sarvabhuteshu Buddha. All these references are given in the Bhashyam alone. I have just taken, I have put it into points and giving you, that's all. I don't have time to read the Mulam. And in the next paragraph, he asks a question. When there is a comparison between a mirror and the bimba in the mirror, but here in this case, there is a slight difference. But in the world in which we experience, we see the bimba and the pratibimba. The bimba is sentient in nature, but the pratibimba is not sentient. Instead, it is inert in nature. But here he claims that, or he proves that, however, in this case of consciousness, the jiva, which we call reflected consciousness, that is the pratibimba, has an apparent sentiency attached to it because it is a reflection of pure awareness. The moment you know or you identify that you are beyond the scope of mirror, Yaha Atmanam Veda Sa Sarvam Veda. The moment he knows his original nature, who is going to come over it? Now, coming to the next paragraph, This is where he tells that Maya is extremely difficult to overcome. Tad etadaha duratyayeti. It is very difficult to overcome. What is difficult to overcome? Whatever we told now, the identification or the pratibhasika with the ahankara tattva of the mind, going beyond that is a bit difficult. As told in the Moolam also, what? Mama Maya Duratyaya. Bimba Bhuta Ishvara Aikya Sakshatkara alone. So recognizing the oneness of Jiva and Brahman alone. Bimba Bhuta Bimba Bhuta Aikya Sakshatkaram Antare Etam Taritum Sakyati Duratyaya. So it is told to be difficult. Of course, it is difficult, but here Madhusudana Saraswati Padaha argues it is only told it is difficult, but it is not told it is impossible. So, what is the possibility? Bimba Bhuta Aikya Sakshatkaram Antarenat Etum Taritum Sakyeti Duratyaya. So, this Bhuta Ishvara Aikya Sakshatkaram is the method. That is also understood. Now, what is stopping you from achieving it? That is answered in the next paragraph, where he brings in the concept of purity of mind or antakarana. The mind or antakarana must be purified through constant worship. This is where he brings in his total ideology or core ideology of Bhagavad Bhakti. So, he is totally approving of the Siddhanta where only through Tattva jñāna eva Atmajnanam, Atmajnanadeva moksham, all this is approved. But to achieve this Tattva jñānam, you need a pure mind. And to achieve that pure mind, it is only through Bhagavad Aradhana. Only through Bhagavad Aradhana. Tasya tada bhagavantam ananta. He is describing the qualities of Paramatma, and he continues to tell that only through Bhagavad Bhakti, destruction of ignorance or avidya is possible, and through accumulation of punya. That is needless to say. So when the mind becomes pure, like a well-polished mirror, it reflects Brahman clearly. Then all the Mahavakyas in the Vedas becomes apparently very clear to us. It will all start making sense. He goes on to tell that when one applies sandalwood paste, chandana, to the original face, it automatically appears in the reflection also. Similarly, whatever is offered to Bhagavan is naturally reflected upon the Jiva. So, surrendering to the Supreme, Bimbabhuta Ishvara brings fulfillment to whom? To the Jiva. So, now coming to the core point of going beyond the Maya. What is the solution given? I exactly have 15 more minutes. So, the second half of my lecture will only focus on the last paragraph. Till now, I just rushed through. The summary of the first half of this lecture will be Bhagavadeka Sharanata. You will be able to overcome Maya. What is stopping you from achieving this? That is Chitta Shuddhi. Without Chitta Shuddhi, you will not be able to do this. For Chitta Shuddhi, what is required? Bhagavad Bhakti. And where is or how is Bhagavad Bhakti defined? Bhagavan is very easily telling, Mameva ye prapadyanti maya metam tarantite. So here, Madhusudana Saraswati Padaha takes up the word Mameva. He is only taking up this word Mameva. I will read this Bhashya Pankti and later, with respect to time, I will dwell on it. So, the heart is Mameva of this entire sloka. Devi Hesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duradhyaya Mameva ye prapatyante mayam etam tarantite. Here we are starting to dwell on the word Mameva alone, which is the heart, because that is where the solution is lying. One who is clinging on to me, Mameva, there is Evakara, meaning there is Eva Shabdam, which tells that you surrender only to me. Mameva Bhagavantam Vasudevam Idrisam Ananta Saundarya Sara Sarva Swamakila Kala Kala Panilayam Abhinava Pankaja Shobhadika Charana Kamala Yugala Pravam Anavarada Venubadana Nirada Brindavana Krida Sakta Manasa Helo Drita Govardhana Kyamahidharam Gopalam Nishudita Sushupala Kamsadi Dushta Sangam Abhinava Jalada Shobha Sarvaswakarana Charana Paramananda Ghanamaya Murtim Ati Vairincha Manavarada Manuchintayanta Divasani Ativahayanti Te Mat Prema Mahananda Samudra Magnastaya Samasta Maya Guna Vikarihi Nabhibhuyante. This is the Bhashya. For what? For that word Mameva. Let us dwell upon these words. I will try and break this down. The first division will be on the divine attributes of Bhagavan Vasudeva. Mameva Bhagavantam Vasudevam Idrisam. These devotees who wanted to go beyond Maya, what should they do? Mameva Bhagavantam Vasudevam Idrisam. Such a form of Bhagavan Vasudeva alone, they should dwell upon, they should meditate upon the divine form of Bhagavan Vasudeva. See how many times he uses the word Eva. Mameva Bhagavantam Vasudevam Idrisam. Idrisam meaning which Vasudeva? Ananta Saundarya Sara Sarvaswam. Ananta Saundarya Sara Sarvaswam. Me or Bhagavan. Bhagavan is tapping on his chest and claiming Mameva. So all this description has to be viewed from Padmanabhasya Mukhapadmati Vinishrita. It is coming from Padmanabha about Padmanabha. So Bhagavan is telling the very essence of the entire infinite beauty that is available in the entire Srishti. I am the very essence of it. So wherever you see beauty or approve beauty, it is something that has gone out of me. It is spilled out of me. But I happen to be the essence of this entire infinite beauty. Akila Kala Kala Apanilayam. The adobe of the entire divine arts. You talk about dance, we have Kali Nardana Krishna. You talk about dance, we have Rasavihari. You talk about an artist playing an instrument. Venuvadana Nirataha is going to talk about it. It is again Akila Kala Kala Panilayam. He is the adobe of all the divine arts. Abhinava Pankaja Shobhadika Charana Kamala Yugala Prabham. Krishna, whose lotus feet will surpass even the beauty of a fresh lotus. Abhinava Pankaja Shobhadika Charana Kamala Yugala Prabham. Anavarata Venuvadana Nirata Vrindavana Krida Sakta Manasam. This Krishna or me, who is constantly engaged in playing the flute and delighting in the sports or in the pastimes or in the sweet spots of Sri Vrindavana. Anavarada Venuvadana Nirata Vrindavana Krida Sakta Manasam. Or if you are interested in the divine play or Leela and the expression of power of Bhagavan, the following are there. What is it? Helo Drita Govardhana Kyamahidharam. This Krishna, who effortlessly lifted Govardhana hill as a divine sport, Chhatrakaiva Bhalakaha, is what is the reference in Srimad Bhagavatam Dasamaskandam. Just like a child lifts a mushroom effortlessly, Krishna uprooted Govardhana. Gopalam, who is the protector of cows. Nishudita Sushupala Kamsadi Dushta Sangam. He being the destroyer of the evil beings like Shishupala and Kamsa, and then coming to his divine form, Abhinava Jalada Shobha Sarvasva Charana Paramananda Ghanamaya Murtim, his form, which is as dark like a fresh rain cloud. It is radiating supreme bliss. Ati Vairincham Anavaradam Anuchintayantaha Divasane Ativahayanti. Ati Vairincham, here, here Bhagavan is telling, those who dwell upon me in the aforementioned way, they will surpass even Brahma. Now, when I was dwelling upon this Bhashyam, I was thinking, why is Bhagavan particularly mentioning they'll go beyond Brahma? Now, this is my way of interpreting. I may be wrong, but still, in a very Rasika Swabhava, I'm doing it. In the same Gita, Bhagavan talks about the supreme point as Brahmaloka, and he's telling that, Arjuna, you can even achieve that, I'll pull you down. Abrahma Bhavanan Loka Puraravartino Arjuna Mamupedyata Kaunteya Punarjanmana Vidyate. So Ati Vairincham, you will surpass the Brahmasthana or Virinchi. Ati Vairincham Anavarada Manuchintayantaha. Those Bhagavatas who meditate upon me, they will surpass Brahma, and they spend their days in only by doing Anuchintanam of Bhagavan alone. Those who dwell upon Bhagavan alone, they'll go beyond Brahmasthana. Even Satyaloka Sahijyam, they go beyond. So, Anavaratam Anuchintayantaha, their only way of passing time is to devote their mind to me. Te mat prema mahananda samudra magnastaya samasta maya guna vikari nabhibhuyante. Their minds, when it is immersed in the ocean of my divine love and bliss, they are not overcome by the transformations of Maya and its gunas. See, who is going to give us such surety? The entire Sampradaya of Vedanta is laying down on one point, that is transcending Maya. When you go beyond Maya, there is nothing else left to be done. Te mat prema mahananda samudra magnastaya samasta Maya guna vikarehi nabhibhuyante. They will not be disturbed by the transformations of Maya and its gunas, meaning Sattvarajastamo gunas. Mat vilasa vinoda kusala yete mad unmulana samartha. This is a very interesting verse. Bhagavan is telling they become skilled, they become experts in my pastimes. Mad vilasa vinoda kushala yete mad unmulana samartha. They become experts in my divine pastimes, and they are capable of uprooting Maya itself. Iti Shankamane Namaya Tebhyo Apasarati. So, Maya herself will fear their devotion, and she herself will withdraw from them. He gives an example. How Varavilasini va. Varavilasini meaning a woman a woman who is devoted to pleasure. Just follow very carefully. A woman who is highly devoted to pleasure or indriyalapa or materialistic wishes. How she avoids a sangha of a sannyasi. Just like a woman who avoids the sangha or an association with an ascetic or a sannyasi, the same way Maya will disassociate herself from this Bhagavata. Therefore, Tasmat Maya Taranarti. I found this word very interesting in the Bhashya. We have heard words like Vidyarthi, Sevarthi, Kamyarthi, all this. Here, Shripadaha uses the word Tasmat Maya Taranarthi. Mam Idrisameva Santatam Anuchintayeti. So, whoever wishes to cross Maya, go beyond the material existence, must continuously contemplate upon this divine form of me. I'll again read. Tasmat Maya Taranarthi Mam Idrisameva Santatam Anuchintayete. And Shripadaha references Shrutayaha Smritayastar Atre Pramanikartavyaha. There are many places from the Shruti and Smriti which serves as authority here. Smritayastra atra arthe Pramanikartavyaha. There are many proofs available, but ultimately what is said has been said. What is it? What are the key takeaways from this short lecture? Maya binds the jiva through ignorance. Liberation is attained only through surrender and self-knowledge. The relationship between jiva and Ishvara is akin to the reflection and its original. Only the pure-minded one can grasp the non-dual or the Advaitic reality. Only absolute surrender, Bhagavadeka Sharanata, is the surest and the easiest path to transcend Maya. Hari Om. I hope I was able to make justice to the Vyakhyana of Madhusudana Saraswati Padaha on this verse, the 14th verse on the 7th Adhyaya. I would like to extend my gratitude to the organizers of the symposium, a very, very, very useful symposium for the people in the Sadhana Mandalam. So my thanks to Indica Moksha, especially to Nitinji, who was constantly in touch with me and made this lecture possible. Thanks for thinking of me when you were organizing the symposium. Hari Om. Namo Namaste. Namo Namaha Namaste.
Thank you very much, Rajaramanji, for a very insightful, very wonderful lecture. In a sense, you kind of shared the cheat sheet, should we say, to moksha, or the roadmap, how the sadhakas should pursue moksha as a goal, but more immediately attaining Bhagavad Bhakti as a goal, because that is the path towards jnana. Thank you very much for your insight. Nagaraj, do you have any comments?
Rajaramanji, it is very interesting. We are today focusing on Madhusudana Saraswati ji, who brought Advaita Vedanta to Vishnu Bhakti and Krishna Bhakti. And you are having Vishnu Bhakti marks on your forehead and hands. That gives an appearance of some kind of Madhva or something like that.
No, I'm a pure Smartha.
I know. Actually, let me narrate one anecdote.
Okay.
I was in Kaladi, and in the Shringeri Shankara Matha of Kaladi, I found a few persons with similar Vaishnava looking namas. And I asked the manager there why Madhvas are moving here. Then he was really very useful, and I appreciate his knowledgeability in that. He told me that these are the Kerala families which actually continue the tradition of Shankaracharya from his time. Even Shankaracharya was having this kind of marks only, and these three white horizontal lines is only a later tradition. The original tradition is like these Vaishnava Namas only. These families are actually continuing the original tradition of Shankaracharya, is what the manager there told me. I was amazed at the level of historical accurate understanding on the part of the manager there. That was very interesting. And you are also doing the same. Is there anything that we have to know about your marks?
No, no. It is in Tamil Smartha Sampradaya. There is one cult where we apply Gopi Chandana in the morning and Vibhuti in the evening.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
there are niyamas for Gopi Chandana,
Oh,
but for Vibhuti there is a loop in Dharma Shastra where if it goes off your head, you can keep reapplying. But for Gopi
hmm.
Chandana, you cannot do that. So once after bath you apply, as far as it stays, it stays. So once it goes on, you can maybe apply Vibhuti at any part of the day. So there are some Dharma Shastric references to it, which will be a totally different topic. But here in Smartha Sampradaya, we have Gopi and Vibhuti as part of our Puntradharanam.
But for today's symposium, it is very much matching. Thank you.
Namaste ji. Thank you.
Thank you very much.